anybody. But I think the point is that whatever I've done, I give the credit to God Almighty, and again to Governor Kezi Ikpeazu, who found me worthy to send me there. But in terms of how I was able to get at that point, I must have to also tell people that one requires sacrifice at any time you're giving out service, and you have to, be selfless, avoid selfishness. If you do that and you have love for your workers, you have love for other people, you will give your best. The moment I got there, I made 3 months salary arrears. When they handed over to me, I saw 3 months salary arrears. I felt bad. I said, is this to make me or mommy? What type of thing is this? A labor leader? And we have elections coming. My God. So I had to wear my thinking cap. I called my director. I said, look, anybody, if you're traveling to say you're going to supervise something somewhere, you need money, no more. Me, I won't take. You won't take. Now, if anybody has been forging what we call, our receipt, which we call manifest. If anybody tries to, print anything illegally, then don't think I'll just dismiss you. I'll send you to jail. And they know me. And I'll do that. I said, I will not take anybody's call. And I'm going to do that. So, when there's, of course, because they know me, people had to run away from those vices. And we started getting more money. And at the end of the day, because of that selflessness, I was able to put those things together. And by the special grace of God, 3 weeks after, I paid 2 months. Then first week of December, I paid another 2 months. That means 3 months cleared and 1 month now paid, ready, current. And then by 20th of December, I paid December salary. And they told me that that is in fact unprecedented. That entire 18 years history of SAMPSON, that was the first time they were going home, with their December salary for Christmas. So they felt happy. The workers even wrote to me, communiques, even the board commending me, and I'm so happy. And I'm also happy that even the governor is happy about that, because he knows I am his agent. Whatever good I do, it is for the governor, it's for the state. And that is also why I am urging my colleagues in the parastatals. Let us do our best. Let us have that spirit of dealing with anybody who wants to perpetrate fraud in our various parastatals. Let us ensure that we reduce these problems, because I can tell you, Governor Kezi Ikpeazu is wonderfully doing so well. In fact, ministries that are the core areas where the state should pay, all the ministries are up to date. It is just the parastatals. And if you look at it, APSU is also doing very well, where Professor Ikone is. Now, SAMPSON, now I've turned the table. Things are now moving. By the grace of God, by Friday or latest Monday, I would have paid January salary. And that is the way it should be. Each time I sleep, wake up, I am thinking about how do I mop up funds for salaries of workers. Thereafter, I move into other things. And if you come to see my office, you'll be shocked that I'm doing all of these things without I've not even put in any pin. In that office, the television there was even taken away by the former GM. He said, from what they told me, that he said he bought it. I don't know. So I don't bother myself. Up till now, I said I will not put those things. And I told them then I will not replace until I'm done with salaries of workers. So even if I do those things now tomorrow, nobody will bother. The moment you pay your workers, whatever you do with your money, nobody will complain. And so that is just the thing. It's all about, sacrifice. It's all about selflessness. It's all about showing love to other people. So that's just it. But I give all the credit to God and to Governor Ikpeazu, and of course the workers in our SAMPSON, who also are the directors who cooperated with me and also accepted to sacrifice also. So I give it to them. I give it to the workers. And that's why by December, I gave them rice, I gave them cow, Aba office, my office, the board members, everybody, they're happy. And that's what you should be. If those around you are happy, you can also seemingly become happy. But if those around you are not happy, if you don't make them happy, your own happiness cannot last.
Okay, SCB, the question here is that we also have ailing parastatals. You mentioned APSU, SAMPSON now is doing well. But then you have Abia Poly, you have the College of Fire Technology, you have the other school in Arochukwu, and some others. And how do we get it right? You're talking about sacrifice here. And then the issue that comes aboard is whether the government lacks the political will. Well, getting a right manager and then doing the right thing. Is the political will there?
You see, SAMPSON, my brother, you call them ailing parastatals. It is human beings that will make them ailing. They are not earning. Individuals come up with polytechnics. Individuals come up with their universities. They collect fees from students and they still maintain the universities, pay their lecturers, and still make profit. This government gives these institutions subvention. You collect all this subvention, yet you are unable to pay salaries. That is very, very bad. Absolute collects 120 million every month subvention to add to whatever they are getting
from the Abia State government.
Yes, to add to whatever they are getting from students. And don't forget that it's also important I put this on the table. Whatever they collect as school fees does not come to government. They keep, just like as PIMS. We are paying because we collect few things through this thing that looks like insurance that we're doing. You know, people, if you're traveling 30 naira, you pay. If there's an accident, our ambulances will go to the site and rescue such people, take them to the hospital. We pay the initial deposits. At the end of the day, if people got injured, we pay those that they got injured an amount. If your own injury is permanent, it's a bigger amount. If somebody dies, we pay the family. Then whatever profit we have becomes, whatever balance we have becomes our profit, with which we pay salaries and all of that. Our own is even more difficult. Their own is just clear. They pay school fees, they collect. Now look at the problem, I tell you. And I can tell you before I even tell you the problem. The governor has warned. He has given them 3 months to buckle up and then save their face, or the hammer will fall where the calamity has arisen. You don't just punish. You give people some space to take care of themselves. And now, you see, there's something I was even trying to add there. Issue of contracts. When you know you don't have enough money, why would such parastatals be awarding big contracts? I don't want to say that. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So it is funny. That is the point. So for me now, I know what my salary should be for my workers. I know that we are not so comfortable. Then I go and award contract of 10 million. Then use the money I would have used in paying salaries to go and award contract. People will go and build 6 classroom blocks for an amount that is very funny. You have to prioritize your expenses. You have to prioritize your expenses. That's the point. You have to be prudent. You have to look. I don't approve anything. I don't approve any money. Salaries first. When I have balance, I can work on the balance. If there's no balance, I don't give out any money. That's a no contract. Okay. So that is so finally on that, the political will is there.
Okay.
And that is why the governor has said, if you don't perform within 3 months, you get the hit.
Okay, well, we're live on YouTube. If you want to be part of this discussion, you can also watch what is going on right here on YouTube or online TVs right now on. Now, ACB, can we say it is a case of corruption in these alien parastatals?
No, when you see, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor of laws.
Okay.
When you just, at the level I operate, you can't just talk about what you don't know. Okay. You must investigate first and confirm. If you've not carried out any investigation, if you've not granted fair hearing to the other side, you cannot just run into a conclusion. So it will be
delicious spicy beef.
Wow.
Yeah. Those sausages are folded and marched like soldiers through a big hot oven, coming out big,
now say it's corruption. Nobody has investigated. Nobody has asked them to talk. But all I know is that all of this requires sacrifice, commitment. You understand? Yes, that's it. And if you also monitored the debate yesterday,
exactly.
You see that the debate also a lot of issues came up, you know, and I can tell you that even from that flank, that debate is something that somebody must also applaud. Those that organized it, I have to applaud them for even thinking about that. The governor that also came, I must say that the governor also demonstrated, you know, what he's made of by coming, because many other people wouldn't have come. That the one that was done nationally, the president didn't come, and because Okezi Ibas is somebody who has nothing to hide, who has performed creditably well, above, in fact, excellently well, distinction level. And he in fact, he's not, before now, you will agree with me that even this your station, he has also appeared, and several other stations. He comes out, makes himself available, you know, to interact with his people, to interact with those he's leading, and so on. People ask him questions without any encumbrances, and that is the Okezie Ikpeazu, the governor of Abia State that we have. But I must tell you that the organizers manifestly displayed some quantum of unprofessionalism, some quantum of bias. I was not there physically present. I went to Port Harcourt. I was coming back, but in the car of my radio, in the radio, in the radio in my car, I was listening, and I was shocked at certain things I had discovered.
What exactly did you?
In the first place, there was a time that the other contestants reeled out some questions, about 6 of them, to the governor. Every of those candidates, you know, was asked to speak for 3 minutes. Don't forget, they had come there to market themselves, to tell people their programs and policies, their intendments. Now, these questions, 6 questions, the governor was not asked to ask his own, but then he was asked, he now said, am I going to use 3 minutes to answer these questions? The guy who was moderating said, yes, you may use the 3 minutes to either answer the questions or say what you want to say. Meanwhile, those questions have been asked. And then, don't forget that the moderators were asking questions. So, the 3 minutes was meant for questions from the moderator. Now, if there were 6 other questions, the man needed time outside this one from his own people, from the time also given to the other candidates, to address this other question. But I thank God that the product that God has given to Abia people in the person of Okezie Victor Ikpeazu is such a very sound person that even under 1 second he will still convey his message. He was still able to convey reasonably the entire message, but then there shouldn't have been tension. But then there should have been fairness. That they didn't do. However, having touched that, let me now go into how I saw that debate. I can tell Nigerians, I can tell the world that in the first place, he's only a good leader, and that is expected of every leader. He's only a good leader like Okezie Ikpeazu, yes, and that's why I commend him, that would come to always give account to his people, that would come to now tell his people what he intends, you know, to do in his second term, to tell them, of course, what he has already done and what he's still doing in this first term, and so on. And so I commend him. And if you actually monitored properly, if you were quite careful listening to what they were saying, you discover that Okezie Ikpeazu has no challenger. The key people who spoke there, the key person rather who spoke there, Alex Oti, the issues he raised, he said he was going to revolutionize education. I'll address you on education. That has been done by Ikpeazu. He said he was going to return missionary schools to them, to the missionary. Abia State government has already done that. So you now see that. Then he said he's going to ensure that teachers are trained. Governor Okezie Ikpeazu has already gone into that, and you will agree with me, I hope you are aware, that Australians, Governor Ikpeazu has brought in Australians, you know, who are already training teachers in Abia State. I think over 3,000 teachers are already been trained. So you now see that they have no programs, even in the same education that he has raised, that is going to revolutionize. Governor Ikpeazu is building already 340 ultra-modern classroom blocks, adjudged as the best in Nigeria. And these classroom blocks are tiled, they have fans, and you know that this has not been the situation before now. And the intendment is that teachers, students, you know, will be resident there. You also have solar. There's also solar that is powering the laboratories and all of that. What type of modernization again can he bring? So you see that they don't have program. And no wonder they turn themselves into students, asking questions, asking the governor questions. If they had, they were invited there to tell the world what they will do when they become governor, if they want to be governor. They forgot what to say and started asking questions, because if they had any good ideas, any fresh ideas, they would have been churning them out. What they did was to start asking questions to the governor. Governor became too much for them, and they became students. And I can tell you more. Why somebody like me feels that the governor is indeed, and before I do that, let me also make one statement on the other two people. I know Mwaba, the former House member. I know Emeka, the lawyer, Wakolam. Two of them are not in the race. You can see they're not. You're in Nigeria, you know they're not in the race. And it's not enough for you to say you want to enter the field, pitch, where football is played, when Okocha is there, when Maradona is there.
When you say they are not in the race, what do you mean?
What I mean by that is that they won't even win their local governments.
They
cannot, yes. And you see, like Meka Wakolam said, that money of Abians is not used in Abia. These things are not, the people are not talking as if people are not, it makes no sense. So, but the point I'm making is that take it to the banks. When the elections are over, I'll come back here again and remind you what I said. Right. They are not. And before I leave that, I want to also tell you why I feel that this governor deserves second term in the course of what was said yesterday, to back it up. My brother, if you look at what he talked about, the Enyimba economic city, I don't know whether you've heard about that so much. This is, intended to industrialize Abia, industrialize the southeast and south-south, and of course, to recreate the Dubai in Abia State. This is such a laudable project that even the president of Nigeria, who is not even a PDP man, but an APC president, had to invite Okezie Ikpeazu. This good thing you're doing, you can't do it alone. I want to be part of it. You invited him to Aso Rock Villa. I'm aware you as a media man, you should have monitored that, you should have known. And the agreement was signed. And Mr. President, and that's why I stood off my car for him on that area. Mr. President said, look, federal government of Nigeria, we are going to take 20% equity, which is amounting to 100 billion naira. Out of the 500 billion naira, the project is going to go up. And the federal government, there and then, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, there and then declared the Enyimba economic city, the brainchild of Okezie Victor Ikpeazu, a special economic zone, a free trade status. And this is because they have seen the goodness of what is coming. And you can be, Nigerians should also know, the world should also know, that this Enyimba economic city is 30 minutes drive from two seaports, 30 minutes drive from Aboroma Seaport, 30 minutes drive from One Seaport. All these things are courtesy of Okezie Victor Ikpeazu.
ACB, yes, permit me to take you on some of the issues you've raised on the program this morning, especially as it concerns the fairness of the organizers and also the fairness of the moderator. Don't you think those that caused the unsettledness in the hall during that period should have allowed the panel to take control of that situation when the time that was to be allotted to the governor was not enough? Because there was a panel set. There was a panel in that hall because I was present. In fact, I was one of the moderators. So there was a panel in that hall which should have addressed that. So what do you think about the conduct of some of the supporters of some of these governorship candidates in the hall? Because it led to the stoppage of that debate for some minutes.
Well, like I told you entirely, I was not there physically present. I was listening through the radio in my car while I was coming back from Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Now, you talk about panel. Panel for what? The people should have been reasonable. If you want to be a moderator, you have to be reasonable. How can you, not even forgetting about his status as governor and chief executive of the state, how can you, I am a teacher of the law. If I set one question for somebody and give him 30 minutes, if I'm now setting 3 questions for another person, I give him 30 minutes by 3. People had asked 6 questions to somebody, and then you also ask your own. You want to give him the same time to answer the 7 questions. It is absurd, it's abnormal, it's untoward, it's bad.
But they didn't allow the governor to even react before stopping the debate in between.
I don't know whether anything was stopped. Like I said, I wasn't there.
I was present there.
So if and you should have also known how to manage your program. So if anything, of course, if the crowd tried to stop the program, that means you people were working anti the crowd. You were not doing what was right. That means my assertions are right.
Well,
when you're doing something, when you're doing something, I wasn't there. But if I was there personally, of course, I wouldn't have also fought you. But I am saying that some of us who are into polygamy, we survived polygamy because we were fair. People should learn to be fair. Because if the crowd reacted, that means people, your conduct was against the expectations of the crowd. But I am saying, like I told you, since I wasn't there, I wouldn't know what happened. So we can flow.
Okay, let's flow now.
Yes.
That's the spirit.
Yes.
Let's go on to some other issues. It's all about the re-election of Governor Okezie Ikpeazu.
Yeah.
In your own estimation, why do you think the governor deserves another chance?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's also what I've been trying to put across to you. You see, this governor, from what I was also told, even after that debate yesterday, as he was going out, he had to wind down his car to wave at human beings, his subjects, his people. This governor, Okezie Ikpeazu, is a governor that is wonderful in his social mobilization.
All right.
His level of interaction, his level of openness, his love for his people. This is a governor that does not drive a tinted car. He does not drive a tinted car. He wants to be seeing his people. He does not want to have a bridge between him and his people. And this he has manifested by always making himself available, through radio programs, of course, no holds barred, every other time, town hall meetings, and so on. Where he interacts with the cross-section of the people, and that will tell you. Now, that is one. I've also talked about the Enimbe Economic City. Again, a program, and of course, how the federal government under APC is also happy over that. You remember, about the award that the federal government of Nigeria, of course, chaired also by the vice president, had to give out to Nigerians in respect of the small and medium scale enterprises. Abia State, a PDP state, Okezie Ikpeazu's government won the best in Nigeria. The same state in Nigeria was won by Okezie Ikpeazu. Just a few days ago, under 48 hours, the Independent gave him Governor of the Year. AIT gave him Governor of the Year. Within 48 hours, on Thursday last week and on Saturday last week. A man who at the age of 30 had acquired his PhD, which is unique. You only can find that in countries like America, Europe, in Africa, where we seldom have families that are so rich. You hardly find this. And that is making the difference. And that is why yesterday in the debate, because he's a doctorate degree holder of long standing, the other people could not understand certain things. You can see the Abga candidate was saying that it's not true that Abia State is not secured. And he was giving a wrong figure, though, of crime rate. He forgot that insecurity cannot always be measured by the quantum of domestic violence, crimes, everything. Crime has, he should know, if he knows the meaning of crime. Of course, he's not even, he's not a PhD holder, you know that. I don't know people whether people know. I say I'm an authority, ask him, he will tell you that he comes here, he doesn't hold a PhD.
So not like it's a qualification for the office, is it?
No, I agree. School start, that's what Constitution says. I'm only telling you because
all right.
Everybody answering doctor. Dr. Warrior, before he died, he was also answering doctor. They are also native doctors. So, and that is why when you see a qualified man who is doing so well, like Okezie, but look at the type of roads he's building. Unprecedented, if you agree. Before now, I have been part of some other governments in the past. I'm not indicting them. The fault could have come from contractors. It could have come from any other person. Okay? But before now, we will build road this year. Next year, we'll come back to patch those roads. But Okezie Ikpeazu has brought in what he calls cement technology. How roads are built in America and Europe. And he said, look, 15 years, my roads will not collapse. And that is why no road that he has built since he became governor, nobody has gone back to it. And that is why that marks him out. That marks him out. Go to Omola road in Aba. Go to Okebu road in Aba. All these roads, if you build any road, you put street lights. Right. So, and that's why he's moving. No, he asked about why I think he should, his achievements when he went out. Okay. So I've not finished. I'm not done with it. You know, there are too many. Look at today. Okezi Ikpeazu has also diversified Abia economy, and that's what he's doing. He has moved from, he's trying to move Abia people away from relying only on oil to what we can do for ourselves. Today, we are supplying shoes to the army, about 50,000 already to them. We are supplying shoes to the NYSC. We are supplying shoes, Abba-made shoes. We are supplying, even the former president, Obasanjo, we gave him our shoes, the Senate president, current president, and so on. And that is also why, it accounts for why even the vice president has had to visit Abia several times without even Abia being an APC state. That's why I also like them there. They are not looking at your party. If you're doing well, they interact with you. That's also what Okezi Ikpeazu is doing. And now that is to say that Abia today, Abba-made goods have gone international. The white man now wears Abba-made clothes. It is now today written, proudly made in Abba. All these are culture of Okezi Ikpeazu. Look at the Enyimba International Stadium. Okezi Ikpeazu went there, told our players, Enyimba, go and start playing outside. Let me retouch this place. After he had regrassed Enyimba International Stadium, international footballers, Okechukwu Uche, and other people, they came down and said, this is about the best in Africa. They are now coming there for their competitions and so on. So you now see, we must give credit to whoever that deserves it. Okezi Ikpeazu is outstandingly, simply outstanding, and is doing so well.
All right, ACB, another issue that came up was the issue of equity yesterday. But before we get to that, no doubt about it, the governor has done some laudable projects. But what about the issue of uncompleted project that came up yesterday during the debate, like the issue of Osisioma Bridge in Aba?
Thank you very much. You see, before the equity issue, you see, honestly, at times, I pity people who have no good IQ. What goes for me, Dr. ACB Abazure, the son of a poor teacher, what goes for me is that when I see that you're doing good, you're doing well, I commend you. When you're not doing well, I try to advise you to change. But when you are seen as somebody who only condemns, it shows you're parochial, you're selfish, you're not honest. Anybody that talks about projects that have not been completed, the person, is he sane at all? Federal government, their own programs, have they been completed? If you start your house, will you complete it under 1 second? It's a continuous process. And that is why it is 4 plus 4 for Okezi Ikpeazu, 8 years. No government, no, even you building your house, you won't do it the same week. You start, it's a gradual process. As the money comes, you begin to allocate the monies and then begin to progress, and that is the way things are done. People will look for what to say they can't find. They begin to think of nothing. So it is funny. Uncompleted projects. Cry for people who think about such things. Cry for people that think about such things. No project is completed immediately. It is gradual process, one by one. Even road that you're building, a 10-kilometer road, under 1 week you can't complete it. If you do that, it will collapse. Abi, it's a graduation issue. Gradually. Then on the issue of equity, I have talked about all I've been talking about. Come within the realm of performance, within the realm of capacity, within the realm of excellence. Now, let me bring in another factor which you mentioned, equity. In a family where you have 3 children and the man has 3 houses, if the man is dying or even alive and he wants to share his property, it will be the son will take 1, the second son will take 1, the third son will take 1. If the first son wants to take 2, when there are 2 other brothers of his, Amadioha, Kamanosusu, will rise against such a person. The gods of the land will rise against such a person. It is absurd and the sign of greed. Abia, in fact, our forefathers, the founders of this state, couched what we call Abia Charter of Equity. Even though as a lawyer, I have that copy. I have read it. I also know what is lacking there. But they came up with the Abia Charter of Equity, which was the basis for coming together. And they said, Onya hala 1 year. Live and let live. Now, Abia North, through Oji Uzokalo, has become governor of the state. And he served for 2 terms of 8 years. Theodore Hamefuloji from Abia Central served the state. And he served for 8 years. It is now the turn of Abia South. And the turn of the Ngwa man that has never been governor since the creation of Adam. And then, okay, luckily for us, has also been doing so well. And somebody from somewhere wants to come and puncture the progression. I'm happy that even some traditional rulers and some reasonable people from even Abia North have risen against it, that no, they are with this man. Equity must prevail. So I enjoy all these people who feel that they cannot wait for their turn to learn a big lesson fast. I also call on elders, leaders, traditional rulers from Abia North and Abia Central to advise their subjects to give peace a chance. If they don't stop this contestation, I, Dr. ACB Abosvere, I will tell you that when it gets to their own turn to produce, I will contest.
Just like you pointed out, ACB Abosvere, you said you saw the document, and from your legal perspective, you said there were things lacking. We wouldn't want to go into things that were that are actually lacking in the document. But they are saying that it's like an infringement on their own right as Nigerians because it's not constitutional. And I don't think that document has been passed into law or it has gone through the lawmaking process of the state government. And again, yesterday, Dr. Alex Oti argued that equity should be anchored on performance. You have equally justified Okeze Ikpazo's performance that should warrant a re-election. But how do we reconcile this?
You see, the problem I'm talking about is that it's not a big deal. It doesn't affect the document.
Okay.
It's not even a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. They should have even added punishment. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, punishment.
Punishment, yeah, for anybody that tries to destroy the family. Because some people are gallivanting. Because there seems to be no punishment. If somebody is ostracized for trying to put trouble in the state, then other people would learn their lessons. There should have been punishment in that document. That's what I'm talking about. Now, having said that, the issue of equity is not new to law. Equity is not new to law. Professor Apadorai, that wrote the book that is called The Substance of Politics, he said the right of one man to swing his arms, elsewhere the right of another man to defend his nose, starts. Therefore, your right will stop where the right of another man will have to, start. Now, even constitutionally, in the Nigerian Constitution, this issue of federal character is there. Yeah. Sections 14, subsection 7, and section 147, I think, these two, will tell you that even in appointments, the law expects the federal government of states to consider geographical locations, federal character. It's the same thing. When you are allotting, give to these people, give to the other people. So it is really unthinkable. It is really absurd. It does not show any quantum of intelligence for anybody. People should be patient. If not, it will amount to greed.
All right, let's head straight to the phone lines. If you want to be part of this conversation, you can call 0808 182 6949, 0811 605 2949. You can also drop your messages on the SMS line 0906 510 8289. Good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Ike Chuku. I'm calling from Umaha. I have a question for Dr. ACB Abosvere. He talked about equity. He is a lawyer. I want to ask him, is equity known to law? And someone did they write in that chapter of equity expressly that whoever becomes governor of Abia State must do 2 terms based on equity. Is it written in that document? And secondly, he said that people who came for a debate were looking for things to say. Does he realize that a debate is intended for saying things to people? Those are my questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
I didn't get all of, but I can guess. I got the earlier part.
All right.
Yeah, I got the earlier part. Well, Ike Chukwu, I think so.
Exactly.
Yeah, Ike Chukwu from Umaya. You see, you are talking as a politician who has interest. I don't know what you read.
No, listen. Direct.
No, don't worry. I'm not attacking him.
ACB,
I'm only teaching him. I don't know what you read. If you read law that you're talking about, you would have looked at the Nigerian Constitution even. Sections 14, subsection 7, and section 147. It's telling you that even in appointments, you allocate the thing, give to this person, give to this person. It is still the same equity. So, and the issue of expressly saying that somebody must go for second term, what is even the equity you must talk about? The other people, didn't they go for second term? So what is wrong with that? More so when the person is performing. As far as I'm concerned, I've also tried to talk to people anywhere I find myself to do anything within their realm, to divorce themselves from politics. That after elections in the first place, people should forget about partisanship and then support whoever is in power. And that when choosing whoever has to lead us, we have to forget partisanship and also go for what is right. Because what you use today in judging somebody will be used to judge you tomorrow. So in essence, there is nothing wrong with that.
Okay. He also talked about the issue of the debate. In your opinion, where you said that the debate wasn't fair enough, he said the debate was meant for the candidates to highlight their issues to the masses, to the electorate. Exactly. He wants you to reiterate on that particular point.
I think I even agree that the debate, I even said it here entirely, it was for them to highlight their issues. And because those of the other people had nothing to highlight, they started asking questions and made themselves students. So what I'm trying to say is that the issue of being fair is not correct. You have also said it here that the crowd in the hall, I wasn't there, reacted. The crowd unanimously at the point reacted.
Supporter of a particular party.
No, I don't know about that. That's what you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me that before. So what you said that the crowd in the hall reacted, and they did, because you pulled down were not fair. And from even what you said, maybe the panel now reversed themselves. So you now see that it has already punctured what he's saying himself. You see, that's what I don't like about human beings. Because of where you come from. When my mother was alive, she knew me for that. If my mother does anything that is not good against anybody, I will call her aside and say, Mama, don't do this again. Even my village, they know me for that. People should grow, for God's sake. If you see injustice to one, it is injustice to all. Injustice today may be injustice tomorrow. So if somebody is not being fairly treated, no matter where you belong, you say it. And that's what it should be.
Okay, Dr. ACB Abazwere, now, I know you talked about Governor Ikpeazu's opponents, but let's look at the opponents again. And the election is just by the corner. Let's look at the opponents of Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu. Alex Oti, he was there in 2015. Then right now you have Uchoga of the APC, equally gunning for the governor's seat. You have other candidates, including Blessing Mwaba of the Social Democratic Party, from the same senatorial zone with the governor. What do you make of the people who are challenging the governor, sir?
As far as I'm concerned, I've told you, I say my own, I'm not an ordinary man. They will all fail. All of them put together will not score 45%. Go and mark what I've said. At the end of the day, Blessing Mwaba knows she's not going to win even her local government. The lawyer...
you're so confident of
no,
your principle
you are
winning.
A small boy. You don't know. I'm telling
Sir,
you, it's a long time.
That's a direct answer to me as the moderator of this program.
No, what I'm saying is that what I have seen, all that I've seen, you've not seen all I've seen. I'm talking from experience. That's what I'm saying. I'm not indicting them. God knows. What I'm saying is I have promised you, within the first 1 week after elections, call me on phone. I will take your number. I'll come back here and say, my brother, what did I tell you? And we'll drink over.
I hope to have you back.
Yes,
on this program.
I will.
So in essence, like we are disagreeing with you.
Yes, I know. So what I'm saying is that, my brother, it's for me to tell you what I feel. Is it not correct? They will not win. Why? One, the man who is on seat is doing so well. Today, even in agriculture, This man has already planted 7 million seedlings of these tenera seedlings from Malaysia. Okay? He's turning around a lot of things. We have Agro City in Obane, where cassava is being processed, oil palm plant and refinery cassava and similar, you know, and so on. A lot of things are happening. People are seeing it. Come outside, you see elders of Abia coming to him. Those that were not coming to government house before are coming, commending him openly, inviting him to Lagos, holding town hall meetings for him. He is doing so well. If you have a leader who is not doing, or a ruler, it would have been a different thing. But we have a leader who is also doing so well. What's his name?
Michael.
Michael. So Michael, you see what I'm saying?
No, you just called me a small boy.
No, you're a small boy now.
You called me a small boy on my show.
No. Listen. It was not meant to deride you. No, I'm saying in terms of age. You should know your age now.
I know my age, but I know my job.
My age is like double your own. So even if it's 1 year, you're a younger boy. So what I'm trying to say, Michael, it's not to undermine you. No, I'm only telling you the truth that I've seen more things that I can tell you from experience. It's not anything negative.
Okay,
so what I'm trying to say is this: ordinarily, honestly, if you have somebody who is not doing well, you will be afraid. In your remarks, you cannot say this man may not succeed, but he's doing well. He's also sound, and if you now compare him with the other people, you see where I'm coming from. Okay. Look, that is where you can now give your mark, and I can assure you, he's going to not just win, but comfortably win. I am looking at making impressions out of 17 local government areas. Nothing will stop us from capturing 12 minimum.
12 local governments
minimum.
Okay, SCB, another baggage here, like the opponents would always say, in Abga they call it blood tonic, and then the issue of godfatherism. They are seeing another vote for the governor as another vote for the former governor, TLG. Yes, the governor has been a good party man, but they are questioning the governor's continued loyalty to his predecessor. So godfatherism is another point for the opposition. I don't know what you have to say about that.
You see, as far as I'm concerned,
yes.
Okay, Victor Ibaz is a man that has his mind. One, I've come close, and I know that. One, and number two, what is it that people will expect for him to quarrel with anybody? You don't need to quarrel with somebody. You need everybody. You need to carry everybody along. All Abians is their government, and I can tell you that nobody, godfatherism is not working in this one. Theodore Hamefology, the much I know him, would not want Abians or the world to see what happened between him and Ojus Okalo. So he's somebody that is contented, he is reserved. You don't even see him in government house. He wouldn't want that type of thing because it will be destructive. If there is a problem now between him and the current governor, people will laugh at him and say, after all, you quarrel with your former boss, Abi. So, and that, I think, plus his nature, must have accounted for why the man is expressly reserved. He doesn't bother this governor at all. And the governor too, look at his standing, academically and otherwise. He's a very sound mind. Nobody pushes him around. He's a person of his own. Look, watch him. I don't know how many times you've watched him, maybe in your program or outside during ceremonies. He will come, he will talk extempore, viva voce, and he will be flowing, touching virtually every area. So sound. So sound. So he's a man of his own mind.
So how prepared is the PDP going into that election, generally, in Abia State?
Well, if we are talking about Abia, and that is, I think, what we are talking about, not Nigeria. If it's for Abia, Abia is a PDP state, and it's not going to change.
You have an APC on the other side, with the support of the federal government, and a bit of re-energized All Progressives Grand Alliance. You're looking at the regional forces that are behind the ABGA, and some other parties. You're saying PDP is completely, Abia is completely a PDP state.
See, APC, you see, Mike, sometimes when I talk, I'm very soon you'll begin to know me more. I am somebody, even in my house, I am frank and plain. In the southeast, particularly Abia, in the southeast, you know the impression people have about APC. You should know, it's not me.
We don't know.
No, apart from, no, you're a media man, you wouldn't want to say it yourself, but I know in your heart you know. So something like, so it's not a thing that we don't need any soothsayer or a native doctor to tell you that Ibazu is going to be this for hands down. And the impression in the field is that APC has been replaced by Panadol.
Panadol?
Yes, but APC is in those days when we were very young that we were taking it. It's no longer, you want to, the change.
That's a metaphor.
Yes, the change that people were told. The problem was that people said, let's go for change. People were not told the type of change. You have negative change, you have positive change. Change where dollar was 160 naira per dollar. Now that it even got to 500, it's now 360 something. Is that change? Change where rice was 9,000 naira per bag, is now 19,500 to 21,000 a bag. Is that change? Is that the change you want? Change where things are more difficult? What is the change, for God's sake? There is no change. That is why we're now going to change the change. And in Abia, it's no longer a thing. Like I said, you don't need a soothsayer. We have a cream. We have a man that is simply outstanding. Okay, it's a victim, and he's doing well. And even the party, too, is a party on ground. So PDP, sure. ABGA, most of those who are with, that's my nature. In 2015, I told Oti at Transcorp in Abuja, when we met, I said, look, you can't make it, you will fail. And he failed. Ask him, I'm saying it on radio.
Okay, ACB.
And then again, this time I'm telling everybody, you will not win. So, and most of those people that were with him during 2015 elections, they have all left.
Okay, ACB, just before we go.
So who again? Is it these two people that cannot even win their awards?
What is the biggest selling point of your party in terms of performance? Going to the polls, 2019 polls, what is the biggest selling point of your party in terms of performance? Because you're seeking re-election,
yeah.
And fortunately, you're on the defensive. Yeah. So what is the biggest selling point of your party?
No, we're not on the defensive. I don't understand what you mean by that.
You will have to defend what you've done for the past 4 years.
No, we're not on the defensive. No.
Present what you have the next 4 years.
No, we can't be defending. If you're not performing, that's why you go on defense. We're not defending. We're comfortable. We're in charge.
So
we're in place.
What is the biggest selling point?
The biggest selling point of time is almost up.
Okay.
Those things I've reeled out. Our achievements and the kind of person, the quality of our candidate. These are the issues. Our achievements and the quality of our candidate. That is why we are urging people to go and pick their PVC. Whoever has not collected his permanent voter's card should go to INEC office around him and pick it and get ready to vote where you see the umbrella, to vote for Keze Victor Ibazu and vote for all PDP candidates. Of course, you also, the Nigerian people and the world should also know that Keze Ibazu has also attracted $100 million primary health care from the World Bank, to also tidy up our primary health care centers. He has also attracted the $100 million from African Development Bank for 500-kilometer rural roads. And all of these things, if the confidence, was not there, these establishments wouldn't have done that. So all these were attracted because of the level of confidence they have in the person of Keze Victor Ibazu, and that our one word, one project initiative of Governor Keze Ibazu is still on. And that today, the security that we have in Abia is the greater enabler. In fact, the greatest enabler that is serving and helping everybody. In those days when kidnapping was rampant in this state, 2008, 2009, it wouldn't have been easy for me to come here. But there is peace today. Look at some other states, Taraba. Look at some other states in the north. But today it's not like that in Abia. And of course, go to Kaduna. Abia is safe and calm because of Keze Victor Ibazu, who is also supporting the security personnel, security apparatus, assisting them and ensuring that Abia is peaceful. And that is also why I urge every person, participating in this contestation to do this peacefully. Right. It must not be a do-or-die affair. If you win, you win. If you fail, you fail. But okay, Keze Victor Ibazu will carry the day. And if he does, people should stop thinking about court issue and all of that. He will win and win. And that is it. And so I enjoin all Abians to indeed go and pick their PVC and vote where you see the umbrella. All right, that is the place.
Thank you very much for being part of the program this morning, Politics Right Now. Samson Eze.
Thank you very much. Our guest has been Dr. ACB Agbazwere, human rights and constitutional lawyer, a member of Nigerian Bar Association, life member, Pan-African Lawyers Union, and a patron of International Bar Association, and above all, the general manager of ASPIMS in Abia State. Thank you very much for coming through.
I can't thank you enough, Mike and Samson. And of course, Flo-Fm. I am happy with Flo-Fm. Alozen Dolaka, the MD, what do you call him? Or the DG, the manager, I also appreciate him, and even the entire workers of Flo-Fm. I am happy with the name that you chose, Flo-Fm. You continue to flow. God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Samson, I say thank you very much. My name is Michael, and you do have a fantastic time listening to Flow 94.9 FM.
Hello.
Welcome, Mom.
Now I have got something for you.
What, Mom? Yay! I love fried sausages. Where do they come from, Mom?
It is time for me to tell you a story with my big book of sausages. This amazing process starts when the big pot of dough is raised and poured into a big square pan known as the hopper. Then the dough is made into a smooth and soft pastry. The pastry is cut into small sizes and filled with the yummy, delicious, spicy beef.
Wow.
Yeah. Those sausages are folded and marched like soldiers through a big hot oven, coming out baked hot and ready for you to eat. The sausages then march along hand in hand, and they proceed to be wrapped one after the other. A big robot with lots of fingers then lines them up into cartons. They're ready to go to the market and just ready for me to buy them for you.
That's amazing, Mom.
6 to begin. This service is only available to MTN subscribers. Terms and conditions apply.